So the first question is, what did you think about China before to actually come here?
What did I think about it? Before I did research, I never really knew what China was, and I didn't think I would come to China. But once I started researching online, reading up on people's stories, seeing, caring about good experiences, I decided to come here.
And what was the first impression when you came here in Beijing, right?
The first impression, well, honestly, I'll be honest, once I flew into Beijing, I didn't know where the cloud ended and where because it was actually a polluted day. But I found out later that it's not so polluted. You have your days, but it's fine. I thought it's really full of life. I mean, I just see a bunch of people walking on the street, doing things. Where I'm from, everyone in the States, you have to have a car. Nobody goes outside. Everyone stays in their home. So it's very lively. It's very active. And I was like, wow, there's something always going on. And you walk down the street, see a bunch of elder ladies dancing, and it's definitely interesting. It's fun. I mean, you don't get bored here.
And about the working conditions before to come to China, what did you think about it?
I didn't know. I really didn't know. I kind of felt like it would be a good idea because, I thought working with kids would be fun, and it turns out it's really enjoyable. I've been doing it for 2 years. So what I thought it would be is what it turned out to be. The working conditions, I'd say it's even more laid back than what I thought. It's very laid back. You get to do whatever you want. It's awesome.
So can you tell us about your job you did for 2 years, right?
I worked in international kindergarten for about 2 years. So I only teach about an hour and a half a day, and I get a 2.5 hour break, and it's awesome. I don't know what you want me to go into detail about, but
yeah, sure, please.
You spend time with the kids, you greet the parents in the morning, you say goodbye to the kids in the evening. You teach 3 separate 30-minute classes. The rest of the time when they have Chinese class, you're there hanging out with the kids. It's fun. It doesn't even feel like work. And you're like, wait, I'm getting paid for this. So it's really cool.
Okay, and what about holidays? Do you think you have enough holidays here in China or not enough?
There's definitely a lot of holidays. Honestly, it depends where you work. With my school, we have a little bit more of a full year schedule. But with other schools, you have 2 months for summer, 1 month for winter, and then you have so many holidays. But the way my working hours are, I have a break, 2.5 hour break in the middle of the day, so I can just get out, do whatever I want. Plenty of holidays in China.
All right. After 2 years, would you advise people to come to China?
After 2 years, definitely. I mean, you can make a very good living here. Cost of living is low. Even if I'm making slightly less salary than I am in the States, I'm still able to save and send money back to the States because of how much I'm paying for rent. I'm paying some $400 per month for 1-bedroom apartment, and that's in the city. So you could save a lot of money. I would definitely suggest it. A lot of people come here and they end up paying back their student loans. So it's a good idea.
Yeah, talking about student loans, did you have one before to come here?
Yeah, I have a small $4,000 student loan, and that's slowly getting paid off. But I'm just pretty much saving everything.
Yeah. There's a lot that take a gap year to pay their student loan, and they succeed in China even with a big student loan. So what will be your advice for students that want to pay off their student loans here in China? Do you have some advice exactly what to do, or?
I'd say just do anything you would back in your home country. Because cost of living is so low, you're gonna have excess money anyways. You're gonna have money saved up. So a lot of people just send money back home. It's really hard for me to spend all the money I make, honestly. It's really hard to spend all that money. So, I mean, the big problem for me is just to send it, and that's a good problem. But, as long as you're here, as long as you're working, as long as you're employed, you're good. Cost of living is low. You don't even have to work that much. I mean, if you want, you could only work less than 10 hours a week and just like survive if you want to do that.
So you did it full time, so it was morning and afternoon, and you had the possibility to do evening jobs, right?
Yeah, I did. I did morning. I did afternoon. Well, I mean like full day from like 8 to 5, and then when I get off, I do after school tutoring. And what I do is I do 2 hours at a time. Some people do 1 hour. 2 hours obviously make more money, and you could really make good money here, even like after school, easy.
So it's a good suggestion, China, to pay off the student loan.
I would definitely say come to China. You can live how you want. The stress is very minimal. I mean, just like anywhere else, you're gonna have a job in the States. You're gonna have a job anywhere. You can come here, save money, and then you can even travel. You know, what you can do is once you come to China, you can go to many countries. You have South Korea, you have Thailand, you have Vietnam, you have, I mean, you can go to Hong Kong, technically China, but you can go anywhere. So I would definitely suggest it. I mean, if you're a young person just out of college looking to backpack, explore, China's a great location. One, you're making a lot of money, and two, you can fly anywhere. I mean, it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, back in the Western world, it's gonna cost so much to fly anywhere. And as we were talking about, if you were to go to Europe, you're gonna spend like $100 eating all day. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you decide to go to another country, like easily, like depends on how much you eat. Less than $10, you could just eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like eat really good. I mean, awesome food.
And the accommodation in China, what do you think compared to the United States?
I mean, it's different, but it's something to get used to. Like, one of the things I noticed in China is that the beds are a little more hard.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, we love to have comfortable beds. So you have IKEA, you have the expat community. You can find anything here. Mm-hmm. So it just takes a little adjustment. It doesn't mean you have to stay with a hard bed. You can find anything you need to live comfortably like you do in the States. So it just takes some time and whatever your preference is.
Alright. So cliche number 1: Chinese don't speak English. Is that true?
I would say that most of them could speak a little English. I would say that more so in the city. But once you get out and you live like kind of on the outskirts, it's a little more difficult. I would say that. But Chinese definitely speak English. Especially if you're in the city. Mostly everybody could talk to you in English. But once you kind of get into the outskirts of like a big city, more of like a rural area, it's a little harder.
Cliche number 2: it's really dirty.
Like any place, you have parts. Like any city, you have dirty parts. But if you're going to be on the outskirts somewhere, like if it's a dusty road or something, it'll be dirty. But if you have a nice neighborhood, I've seen some excellent, beautiful neighborhoods here, and places of China, as well as I've seen some not so great places. But that goes for any place you live in.
All right. Well, can you tell us about your travels since you were in China for 2 years? What countries did you do?
For 2 years, well, I went to South Korea, I went to Thailand, I went to the Philippines, Hong Kong. And I think that's it, and I've just traveled all around China.
Alright, so I choose you also because there's something that you didn't know, and I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna give a real impression. So we designed a package that is 6 months. 6 months you work with us, and 6 months you can volunteer or travel. And during those 6 months where you volunteer and travel, you're paid $1,000 a month. What do you think about it?
So 6 months I could work with you, and 6 months I could volunteer and travel.
And you get paid for volunteering and travel.
I just recently signed a contract with my school, but who knows, maybe in the future. But it sounds awesome for somebody who's looking for something. If I didn't sign a contract, I'd consider it.
Yeah. And what is for you, like, because before to come to China, you compared with South Korea, Japan, and Thailand. So why did you choose China in the end?
Because the pay is high. I mean, I basically came here because I wanted to pay off student loans. I wanted to live a comfortable lifestyle. Thailand, a lot of Southeast Asian countries, you can't really make as much. I mean, yeah, you are spending way less, but you're not making as much, so you can't really send as much back home. So China is really the best place to teach. I mean, I think there's an exception for a few, but generally speaking, if you come to China, you're good. You don't really have to search, you don't really have to do all that work. I mean, to like really find what you're looking for. Even if you start no experience, you're already like in the first few months, you could already like save up and start sending money back home. It's incredible. So, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Come to China, research it, go on YouTube, do what I did. Type in life in China. You're gonna see negative videos. You're gonna see positive videos. Obviously, you know, you're gonna make up your own mind about it. For me, it's worked out. For many others, it's worked out. I love it. You know, it's if you're in your home country or working a job, it can be kind of, unless you have a great job, then go do your job, whatever it is. It's hard to save up money, and if you don't have money and you're broke, it's not that fun. So it's great to come, it's great to work, it's great to actually like, you know, feel like you have a purpose, do something, and you actually make a difference. It's not like you're just coming here and just making money, and like you're actually like, these kids are so grateful, the parents are so grateful. It's really rewarding. I'd say it's, and I really mean it. I see Ron's nodding his head. Like, you know, like you have a lot of jobs, and it's just like so fulfilling. You want to go back the next day, and do it again. So it's definitely awesome. And to think like, wow, I get paid for this. I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. Yeah, you are getting paid for this. It's great.
How's your Chinese level?
Not as good as it should be, but I've had friends that stayed here for a little longer, and they actually committed. They actually like learned Chinese, like studied it. But you know, I can get around. I can talk to taxi drivers. I could ask how much something costs. Just your very basic Uyghur and Chinese.
So, would you imagine before to come to China to be able to speak Chinese?
What do you mean?
Like, would you think like of you in a situation where you can actually make a little conversation in Chinese?
I didn't know. I thought I would just talk English with people in the beginning, but later on, you know, it just grows on you. Like, it's become normal. Like, even when I go back to the States, if I bump into somebody, like initially I'm thinking like Duegushi, and I'm like, oh wait, sorry. Yeah. So it becomes like, you become used to it. You live here, you become like used to the way things are. And if you really commit some of your time, you can really learn Chinese. I mean, I spent more time trying to work and earn money, and just trying to pay off whatever I need to pay off, send money back home. But you know, if you come here, you could, and that's what you want to do. You want to work, earn money. You want to learn Chinese. You could definitely do that. Like I say, you could in China, you can have a hobby. You can come here, you can work, you can have a hobby. You know, like working, like I said earlier, you could work 10 hours a week. So it gives you so much time to do anything you want. And then you don't have to worry about bills. So many people in the States, or wherever they are, they're working and they're just thinking about, okay, I have to pay this bill, I have to pay that bill. They can't literally like think about doing their hobby, because they need to think about like making a living. So at least here, you're working a little bit, and then you have so much time to do whatever you want. It's great. So I'd say, you know, if you have a hobby, if you want to save money, anything, you know, come give it a try. If it's not for you, you know, you could choose somewhere else. You can go back to your home country. It doesn't hurt to try. I'll say that. You know, at least if you earn a little bit of money, you'll go back home with some money. So.